climbing, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game. The algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch a payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursements? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the runaround. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. The reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASINs down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand, but they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand, but yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live for sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope. Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stacked, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registries a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low. All products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Let's go to Mac School. To Mac School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope. They got the S&P cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe, helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalogs, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Mac School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using Helium-10, strike distance keywords pass the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. Alt text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth. Let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. There's a chase. Peace.
Hello and happy Halloween. My name is Noah Wickham. I am VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy, and I am here to answer any and all of your questions. I am also the ringmaster, as Amazon is a giant circus, and I am here to guide you through that circus. So if you have some questions, throw them in the chat. We're going to have some fun today, just answering some questions. I'm going to be dressed like this the whole time, or at least most of the time. I got my nice Halloween decor and spookiness going on today, so figured it would be a little fun Friday, so to speak. So without further ado, let's hop right into the show. Step right up with your questions. The first up today is Realify Games. Happy Halloween, Noah and Steven. Hope you both have a great Halloween. Happy Halloween to yourself. All right, let's see. Hi, Noah. Do you guys run SEO for small brands as well? Do you have minimum revenue you consider? SEO, Seller Central Optimization, I'm going to assume. And the answer is yes. We have clients as small as a couple of $1,000s a month. We have, clients as large as a couple $1 million a month. So we work with any and all types of sellers and brands. If you are interested in working with us in some way, shape, or form, feel free to head on over to myamazonguy.com/book. Book a call with myself or one of my team members, and we can help you out, and make sure that Seller Central is a little bit less of a spooky place for you. I'm going to have a lot of puns today. I'm going to throw that out there. We're going to have a lot of puns going on. So let's see. So this is Eric Vogel, and I know that he saw my picture earlier today. I have a feeling that he is here simply to see if I actually was dressed like this today. I am indeed. I actually also I have a full staff, little lion staff here, and whatnot. So I am for sure the Amazon ringmaster. I need to get a couple other things. That guy over there, he died waiting for seller support. So it happens to the best of them. Hey all, I saw a recent video from Darren FBA Elite, and he was saying how Mag's push for broad match makes more sense for bigger sellers and not smaller sellers, and is actually a really bad idea for smaller sellers. Okay, so I think that's a misconception at the end of the day when we're looking at how you want to go about optimizing campaigns. So is it easier to control the overall amount of budget and bid that you're going to be spending if you are using something like exact match campaigns? Absolutely. That is 100% true. Now, are you going to get as many potential search terms? Are you going to be able to grow your search terms across the board with exact campaigns? No, you are not. The big aspect is why a lot of people think that broad campaigns don't work for smaller sellers at the end of the day is simply due to the fact that for smaller sellers, a lot of them are new. A lot of them probably don't know how to do things such as negations. And if you're somebody who struggles with negating search terms and keywords, you're going to have a really hard time with broad, because broad is very much all about negations. It works only really, really well if you have negations. Otherwise, it can cost you a lot of money. And so that's, I think, the misconception that a lot of people have at the end of the day. Is broad bad for small sellers? No, it is not. It is absolutely not bad as long as you know how to use it effectively. Great thing, though. I do love this kind of discourse in the community. I'm actually going to edit real quick because I'm real low down, and all the things keep going right in front of me. Let's see if I can get you guys a little bit better view of me here. Let's tilt this down a little bit. We'll cut off the clown's face a little bit. Oh, actually, we don't even have to cut it off. Look at that. Fantastic. All right. On to the next. Oh, he had more things. Smaller sellers. Now I'm confused as a new seller. Should I not use broad match? So much information everywhere. Darren said the exact match is best because you can rank on exactly what you want. You can also rank exactly what you want on broad match as well for reference. And broad doesn't help you rank on exactly what you want. It's random, so you never rank properly on anything and can't track keywords properly. And also broad is harder for new sellers. Thanks, Noah. Okay, so I was on board when Calendar thought I knew what Darren was saying at first. I'm just going to say that's wrong. First off, yes, you absolutely can rank with broad on exactly what it is you want, because with broad, you can hit both your exact keyword, but also a multitude of other keywords. The primary thing that is going to stop you from having broad be effective is, again, if you don't know how to do negations properly. because you'll end up having a ton of search terms that don't matter for you and cost you a lot of money. And so the big thing with broad is that if you're going to do it, make sure you are doing regular optimization for negations. Otherwise, you're going to be out of luck, so to speak. The cards aren't going to be in your favor. I'm just going to have a lot of fun with puns today, guys. Let's see. Are you affordable for small brands, or do you have recommendation? How much is an average monthly expense one should expect? Yeah, so it's going to be fairly custom at the end of the day and into what you need, whether that's just like SEO optimization, whether it's ad optimization, or if you need just the whole enchilada to be managed and whatnot. It will vary, right, on a lot of different factors. And that's why I typically am going to recommend people go chat with one of my team members. It's free. They'll do a full audit for you, give you a ton of insightful information. And, if it makes sense, they'll send you a proposal for us to work together. So head on over again to myamazonguy.com/book, and you can talk with one of them. They're all very friendly, I promise you. Hi, Noah. Yesterday, I accidentally used a phone number linked to my Amazon account for OTP on another account. I removed it after 10 minutes and now use the Authenticator app. What to expect? Thanks. Nothing really. At the end of the day, I mean, there might be the issue of Amazon might say, hey, first off, you shouldn't actually be able to use the same phone number on two different accounts. So if you were able to, there's the likelihood that it just wasn't even authenticated yet, which is very likely. You only had it on there for 10 minutes. I wouldn't really worry about that as a huge factor. Amazon's not going to ding you for having multiple accounts or anything like that, or linked accounts or anything along those lines. But I would encourage you in the future to, one, just utilize Authenticator app, and two, make sure you have a separate phone number for every single account, just so you don't run into these problems in the future. Nowadays, things I have observed is when I go about any brand-related issue and would reach out to, they send me to Amazon Ads support. Amazon Ads team would say to reach out to seller support team. Which type of issues should you go to which team? Can you give an idea? Right, so seller support is a lot like lions at a circus, and you're going to have some lion tamers. That would be the job of, someone like myself who's a ringmaster, or just brand owners in general, right? And to tame the lion that is seller support, you're going to have to go through a couple of different things. First and foremost, any issue that is specifically advertising related, whether that's a prohibited keyword, whether that is a problem with being unable to advertise in a specific category, whether that is your category being mismatched or anything like that, you go to Amazon advertising support team. Now, anything that is actually on Seller Central and on the product detail page, your SEO factors, the category of your product, anything wrong with your imagery or anything like that, you go to seller support with. So that's the big thing. If you're unable to advertise, go to ad support. That's pretty much all they can help you with at the end of the day. If it is anything else on Amazon outside brand registry, you go to Amazon seller support. If it is brand registry, you go to brand registry support. It can be a little confusing at the end of the day. It really is going to depend on the specific problem you're having, Kapil. Happy Halloween as well to yourself. All right. Hope you are doing good. Need to ask, what PPC strategy should we use for 700 SKUs in our catalog? Okay, first and foremost, number one, if you actually have 700 SKUs you want to advertise on, I would encourage you to firstly set up an auto catch-all campaign. Add literally every single product you can in your catalog to this campaign and run with as many of them as you possibly can in the campaign. It'll help you a ton. Now, number two on this as well is the aspect that I am a firm believer when people have large catalog campaigns of the 80-20 rule. Roughly 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your products. Focus on just advertising those 20% first and foremost. Don't focus on trying to advertise everything all at once. Focus on actually getting some revenue through with some very key products. These are your 20% hero products. And then over time, add in the other products. I've seen accounts with thousands of ASINs that they advertise against, but they did not add a campaign in for every single product right off the bat. That would be impossible to just do and optimize. So you have to start somewhere, start with that 20% that's actually generating you revenue. Lifestyle brands. Have you used the shoppable collection module inside A+ content? I'm trying to set it up, but I can't submit it because it says the module configuration failed. Great costume. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I have used the shoppable collection module in the A+. It says the module configuration failed. I would be curious if maybe you're not adding the products correctly within there. So you have to actually fill out that product in the bottom. You also want to make sure that you essentially are adding only products that are relevant. So usually 9 times out of 10, the module itself isn't the failure point. It's usually something else within the A+ content that you have to troubleshoot. I would take out one piece of the A+. And one thing you can do just to test this out as well is you can literally just create the shoppable collection module itself and test to see if that itself is the problem. So do that first and foremost to just kind of troubleshoot what the other potential issues are. But no, the shoppable collection should be something that's just fairly usable across the board. Hey, Noah, been a while since I've been on this live session. Hope you've been well. I have been well. Thank you for hopping on. Noah, can you help me understand what strategies we're supposed to use for the product which are interrelated, Mexican and Colombian bread, different flavors and number units? Yeah, so I would probably do a parentage, if for either or, right? So if you want to try and pair them all together, you absolutely can. And sometimes it's good to do things in pairs. At the circus, you're going to have a lot of pairs, and doing that can kind of help you as far as your review count, can help conversion, and gives more variety to the end customer. So you could do essentially a 2-layer parentage, one where you have essentially the layer of do they want Mexican or do they want Colombian, and then another layer where it is the flavors, if they're all just kind of similar flavors at the end of the day. And so that's what I'm going to suggest would be kind of your best thing if you're going to be trying to optimize 2 listings like that. Hi, Noah. Is there any truth to the idea that the algo determines a relevance score and impressions can still go to lower bidders? I've bumped bids, but still half my usual impressions year over year. Yes, actually. So firstly, this is kind of considered this idea of ranking, right? So we have our ranking on keywords in general, and that ranking is going to put you in front of the crowd first and foremost, whether that's in spot 1 or spot 20. And so that ranking is going to be the most pinnacle aspect at the end of the day when it comes, how many people you are showing up for. Now, the secondary aspect for that relevance, yes. So some very important things in SEO and the algorithm are going to be your click-through rate and your conversion rate. If you are not getting clicks on a keyword and you're not converting on a keyword, it doesn't matter at the end of the day how much you're spending on advertising, how much you're trying to get to the top of search. Because if somebody else has, a 80% click-through rate for a keyword, they can tend to spend less and still end up getting more impressions and clicks than you. So there is a relevance factor at the end of the day with advertising. Now, if you truly are seeing it go down, I would really, I guess the best way to put it is I would really encourage you to test out to make sure that, it has nothing to do with your budgetary. I would also test out just other keywords. Is this happening on a specific keyword or is it happening across the board? You can also look to see how many new competitors are in your category over the last year. Are there 50%, more competitors than there were last year? That could have a huge relevance towards how many people are advertising and why your impressions are less than they were. So definitely there is a relevance factor though when it comes to keywords. Should we use set up different? Did I read that right? I did. Should we use set up different campaign for each product, sponsored product, all match type product, phrase, exact? So they all have basically the same keywords for all type of products. They will competition with each other, all stuff. Thanks. No, you should not use your same exact keywords across all of these different campaign types and structures. There's no point. So for instance, something like a broad campaign is going to hit pretty much everything that an exact campaign would, and then some, as well as a phrase campaign. So no, there's not a huge relevance or reason to do it. Now, can you do it if you want to try and do some things around bid adjustments, or you want to target a very specific audience segmentation with a exact phrase match? Yes, absolutely. You should do that. But is there any point in just throwing up, the exact same campaign with just different matches for every keyword? No, not a real ton. I mean, unless you want to get like hyper niche specific, not hyper niche, but if you want to get more specific in your targeting, then yes, absolutely go for that. This is a bit different question than normal. I'm validating a new product idea to launch on Amazon. Could I DM you on LinkedIn and get your thoughts on the product? No research required, just opinion. Absolutely. I'm more than happy to give you my opinion all the time. I am a very opinionated guy at the end of the day. And so if you would like my opinion, I'm more than happy to give it to you. So yeah, absolutely. Reach out to me. More than happy to, give you my 2 cents and then some. Hey, Noah. When launching a new product looking to make about $1,000 profit a month, should the strategy be to outsell the top 10 people for the main relevant keyword? That's what I've been hearing. Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, that is one way to go about it. If you're trying to get top of search, getting top of search click through conversion in general on any keyword really builds your relevance and does help build that ranking towards that keyword and towards that overall scope of how the product is going to shake out. So absolutely something that I would encourage you to do is yes, definitely try and go after any relevant keywords and, the people who are essentially already beating you. I would also throw up some competitor campaigns as well for specifically those ASINs and some category campaigns. So all of those will help you. Now, is that the only thing that you should be doing? No, of course not. I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of relevant keywords that you need to be, indexing for and ranking for prior to just trying to overtake. But getting sales velocity on your main relevancy keyword is going to help you both organically and sponsored. When do you normally see the holidays uptick begin on Amazon? Mid-November. What is the average multiplier people see on Amazon during the holidays? Yeah, so the normal holiday uptick, I would say, tends to come about around, early to mid-November. Typically, you're going to be seeing a giant lull in sales right now. And it's really funny looking at a sales chart. So you basically see it go from like Prime Day, then it just like goes down. And then there's October Prime Day, then it just goes straight down again. And then all of a sudden Q4 just skyrockets about the beginning of November. So you're going to see it probably start around the beginning of November. People are going to be shopping. They're going to be trying to get Christmas presents. They're going to be doing all these things. And then obviously Black Friday, Cyber Monday comes around. And so you're going to have some deals and you're going to see a huge uptick. The big thing is I can't really say a multiplier just across the board because it depends on your product. If you have a very giftable type of product, you tend to see a much higher multiplier, sometimes as high as 5 or 8x. Whereas in other instances, if you're somebody who has a out of season product, you can still see your sales have a little bit of a jump in Q4 if it's something that somebody could give as a gift, but you're not necessarily going to always see as much of an impact as you would for something that is more highly relevant during the year. So just something to keep in mind. But at the end of the day, there we go. At the end of the day, the big thing is that, yes, Q4 is going to have a surge for pretty much everyone in every category. All right, gotta get some water in me. These guys move as well. I could have turned them on. I can't turn that guy on because he's sound activated and he is a little precarious in how often he will scream out or reach out, so to speak. This guy though, this guy's just kind of funny. All right, let's see. Here we go. How do you get custom products made in China for Alibaba? Once you get a custom product made, how do you get a designer to draw the design if you want to get a design right patent for it? Anyone know? Yeah. So if you're trying to get your own product manufactured and made in China, one of the bigger things through Alibaba is that you're not actually going to be going to Alibaba to purchase a product in bulk. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking for essentially products that are similar in vein to the product that you want to get custom manufactured. From there, you're going to get a list of different manufacturers. You're going to give them the specification and criteria of what it is you're trying to get made. From there, a lot of times these manufacturers also have in-house designers that, as you're kind of talking about, who can send you over some scopes and specifics. Once you actually find one of the design or one of the manufacturers you want to work with, talk to them about getting a custom design done. And, if you want to, the only issue is a lot of times using those custom designers, you won't own the patent rights. And so you could look for your own product designer or product engineer, usually is more so probably what you're looking for to get the specifics around a patent and to get those patent rights. Is a bit tricky at times because that can be a little bit more expensive, but definitely something to look at. And I would just look at product engineering firms rather than trying to find, anything else. Let's see. What happens if the products don't have competitors to target? Not possible. There is not a single product right now on the market that has zero competitors whatsoever. I do not care. You know what? Actually, I do care. Give me the product and the example, and I can find you a competitor to target in like 5 seconds. There is zero chance. And I hear this from sellers all the time. There is this like idea that I think a lot of people have in their head where they're like, well, my product has this very unique differentiation feature and it does does this thing for people in a very unique way, right? And so there's this idea that like that means they don't have competitors. And no, that's not the case. Just because you have differentiation and just because your product does something differently does not mean you are not competing with other people, right? That is not how products work, right? People will, yes, try and go to you because you have a differentiation feature. And that's fantastic to have from a competitive standpoint. But that means nothing at all in the landscape of overall categories, product types, markets. But I encourage you, if you think you have a product that is truly unique, has zero competitors whatsoever, send it. I would love to work with some type of product, even give just some free advice to you. Noah, what do you do when buy box disappears for a private label brand product? No other sellers, just they themselves. Product is the highest seller in the market and buy box suddenly disappeared. Okay, so buy box suddenly disappears for tons of reasons. I have like 5 videos on our channel about this, Harris, but let me break down some of the most common ones. One, take the ASIN for the product and just throw that ASIN into the search box. If the ASIN doesn't show up, you have a hidden suppression of some kind on the product. Open a seller support ticket, talk about it. You can also try a delete and relist for that product as well. Now, as far as losing actual featured offer on your product, 9 times out of 10, it has to do with the seller account itself and has nothing to do with the product. This can be a matter of you have some kind of seller infringement going on, you have a performance notification going on. A lot of times it's a high pricing error performance notification that just goes missed for the product itself. And Amazon thinks that your product is priced too high. So there's tons and tons of reasons, but those are the like most common ones that I see at the end of the day. The pricing error, change your pricing. If it's an issue with hidden suppression, reach out to seller support or do a delete and relist first, then reach out to seller support. If it's an actual account level issue, you can't really do much about that except for time, which is the annoying part because you really just have to wait and until your account is back into a good realm, which usually can take anywhere from 90 days to 6 months, depending on what specific account level issue is at hand there. Zane, I sell white label products, lots of cat products. Now I'm looking to get a design patent too and start a cat brand. Is this a smart idea? I thought so because I already have all of the PPC data. Let's see. And so it would be easier to bring that product in. How can I also create custom products? And how can I ensure that exact design is always created with suppliers? Thanks, Noah. Yeah, okay. So a couple of different things. Yeah, the first one, I think same exact kind of thing I was saying earlier. Get yourself a design patent through an actual design firm or product engineering firm. It's going to be the biggest thing. You just have to actually work with them. These are creative engineers, right? And their entire job is literally to create things that can be patented. So you can actually work with them both for the patent and also to make sure that it's, patent in the future. Do not work with one that requires them to be a co-owner of a patent. That is the thing I see as a very common mistake that a lot of brands make, especially if they're looking to scale in the future, or it's potentially a patent that could have a lot of versatility in the future. And so that's a big thing. Design patents are usually a lot different. And the one thing I will encourage you here is that design patents are not nearly as enforceable on Amazon as a utility patent is. So if you are looking for something in a way that would be enforceable in the future, design patent usually is just not going to be as, versatile for you, so to speak. So like Amazon's Apex program, for instance, doesn't allow you to utilize design patents. It only allows for utility patents, unfortunately. So definitely something to keep in mind there. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking to do your own thing and, work with specific people, I would definitely encourage it. It's something, that I've worked on in the past with some people. I don't have my own patents, unfortunately. I never got that far into the realm of like doing my own design work. I'm also not super creative in that way, to be fair, but Yeah, definitely something I would encourage you to do if it's something you want to go after. The SKU buy box disappeared for 4 is the breadwinner for this account, and seller support is of no use, just generic replies. I'm super confused. The product is also selling at the market price. Okay, so it's not a price issue. Again, check hidden suppression, right? Secondarily, delete relist. Seller support's being of no help here. Do an account level check. Look for any performance notification whatsoever. Finally, I mean, I can take a look at the ASIN as well. If you want me to pull it up at some point, send it over. I'll, in my spare time, kind of look at it, see if I can see anything. But, sometimes this just happens. One of the major things I would also look, what's the return rate in recent times? That can be an ASIN level issue. If the return rate suddenly just jumped up, or your negative review rate suddenly jumped up, those are also issues that can happen. That's the big problem when your featured offer goes down, is that there's like 100 different reasons as to why it can happen, and you have to go through and individually check each one. Sometimes it can be multiple at once. So you solve one and now it's a different issue in general. It's been 3rd month. I'm getting sales, but it seems like customers are not either leaving reviews or rates. What should I supposed to do? Sales are coming along, but not a single rate drop from them. Yep. So the best thing at the end of the day to get reviews is more sales. Now, if you're not getting reviews, even though you're getting sales, first and foremost, question I would have for you is how many sales are you getting? For reference standpoint, 3% is what I would consider to be a pretty good review rate. So for every 100 orders, you are getting 3 reviews. That seems really low. People just don't leave reviews. The highest review rate I have ever seen was somebody had 13%. That was the highest I've ever seen. And like the second highest after that was like 9%. On average, I should say, not just like in general. But so a big thing at the end of the day that I would really, really encourage you to do here is, if you're not already, try and elicit reviews by essentially making sure that you are asking in the Amazon Seller Central thing. You can click the request a review button. Do that for every single order, first and foremost. Request seller feedback for every single order. And then on top of that, the only thing you can do, more sales. Like, these numbers are very standard at the end of the day, right? Even, if you're only getting a 2% review rate, that's better than a 0.5% review rate. It's just a numbers game more than anything. Hey, Noah, end of October has been terrible for PPC. Conversions are super low and don't seem to convert well at this time. Is it best to lower bids and lower budget, as right conversions are terrible? Yeah, so right now, conversions are going to be terrible, absolutely abysmal. Your goal right now is not converting. And that is primarily because people are waiting for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. They know it's around the corner. You're going to get a ton of impressions. You're going to get a ton of clicks. You're going to get a ton of add to carts, people saving your product, and you're not going to convert on any of it for another 3 weeks. It's the unfortunate part of this time of year, but it's that everyone knows that Black Friday is coming around, and Black Friday is a 2-week sales event on Amazon these days, right? And so there is plenty of time there to increase. But yeah, if you're struggling right now, I would definitely encourage, yes, lower bid volume a little bit, lower budget volume, not substantially by any means, mind you, because you are still have the potential to reclaim and recoup these sales down the line. You definitely, going into Black Friday, should be looking at doing a lot of like audience retargeting in your advertising. Get right in front of those people that essentially saw your product at one point in time or even clicked on it. Make sure they are the ones on Black Friday, or you are the one that they purchase, rather than, any of your competitors. What was there's a 2 in front of this, and I don't see where the number 1 is. I have the distributor invoices to prove authenticity, but the PO form is broken and only asks for an LOA, not my invoices. Support was no help. How can I solve this? Okay, so I don't have the first message here, Falcon, but I'm going to assume, just based off what you've told me, is that you're trying to essentially get authorization to sell some kind of product or some kind of brand at the end of the day. And you're wondering why your invoices don't work. And the answer is that a lot of gated brands, you need a letter of authorization. Your invoices mean nothing to Amazon in some cases. Do you still need them? Absolutely you do. But for a lot of brands that are gated, you need a letter of authorization directly from the brand or from the registered distributor. It's a problem I see all the time that people face, where they're like, my distributor won't give me a letter of authorization. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably because your distributor isn't actually an authorized distributor and rather just a wholesaler of some kind. It's a problem. It sucks. There's not a lot you can do, unfortunately, without that letter of authorization. The route that some people go, and I don't encourage this, but I do want to make it known, is that they will basically fake a letter of authorization. Amazon catches that you fake your letter of authorization and they will suspend your entire account. Simple as that. So big thing you can solve here in the future going forward. Anytime you are ever going to be doing any kind of buy whatsoever, check ahead of time ahead of the buy what restrictions you're going to have when you try and list the product out. That will help you immensely. Hey man, best place to find a reliable VA. Yeah. So you can actually head on over to myamazonguy.com/third. And we have a couple of different suppliers over there of people who do VAs. One of them, VAA, is a great one. Jihad over there is a great friend of mine. Feel free to reach out to them. They're a great supplier and whatnot. So if that's what you're kind of looking for, is just a VA, head over there and check them out. I guess the problem with shoppable collection module failing could come from the fact that I am adding my product that is not yet active. Thank you for the great insights. That would, in fact, make it not be able to show up, right? Because it has to be products at the end of the day that can be purchased. The products don't even actually, for reference, have to have featured offer. Fun fact. You can add products that don't have featured offer to the shoppable collection, but every single one has to be active for it to be able to show up. So yes, that is likely the reason why it is failing. Which channels should you recommend to bring external traffic to your product? Meta advertising is going to be probably number one for just like instant boost in external traffic. Secondarily to that, email marketing, I am a huge fan of these days. And then the third one for long-term building, I would definitely build out some TikTok stuff. TikTok's really great with UG and influencer content in general. It just takes time to see impact from TikTok comparatively to Meta, which is pretty much instantaneous. So that would be kind of my tier list, I guess, for external traffic. Thanks, man. Eight. Have a price. Oh, I have a pricing issue with my current product. I tried reducing current price from $59.99 to $44.99. Wow, that is a big price drop, $15. But it only shows as strike through. I have set the list price equal to it and tried to set it 0, but everything shows strike through. I tried contacting seller support 3 times, 3 separate times to fix it, but they state they can't do anything. Am I stuck with a perpetual sale price now? No. So your sale price issue that you're likely having here is the fact that Amazon is taking what is considered to be your average or your was selling price, your average selling price over a period of time. And that is actually where you get strike through from. So a lot of people have this like mentality that all they do is do like a sale price. And so that's what gets them strike through. It's not. You actually can have situations where your strike through goes away because you have had a sale price long enough that your average selling price no longer applies for a strike through. And so it will go away in time, Azane, it will go away in time. It's one of those things that you just have to start getting sales. Now, having a strike through price in general is not necessarily a bad thing, though. It is a converting factor. People do love to purchase when there is a discount and a strike through. And so I would just roll with it for right now. But no, eventually it will go away once your average selling price has been there long enough that $44.99 is the average selling price. Let's see. I know. Thanks for AI usage guidance in recent webinar. Same. If I take Perplexity Pro, would you say I will not require to separately subscribe ChatGPT Plus for all GPT purposes? Yes and no. So Perplexity Pro allows you to basically utilize every other type of AI within it. Now, there are going to be some differences here. You're not going to get all of the utilization of every AI. You're going to get most of the utilization of every AI. So things such as like the image generation, you can still technically do, but it's just not going to be as optimal as if you were using directly just ChatGPT. Now, the thing at the end of the day is that ChatGPT Plus doesn't actually give you all that many features outside of the fact of just having longer storage, longer context window, things like that. So if you have Perplexity Pro, and you're just using ChatGPT modules within Perplexity Pro, you get all of the context window from Perplexity Pro. So you're not going to have any real issue or really any downside whatsoever to switching over to it. Okay, this one is just crazy. How do you even get those symbols and characters? That's not, those aren't actual letters that we're now using. We're using wingdings out here. You know what? That's a little cruel because I'm sure that's somebody's actual language, but my point stands. Love the costume. When trying to rank for a keyword that is relevant, once you rank on a keyword well, how easy is it to start to lose your rank if it's a normal product and the word is relevant? It hurts to pay for PPC to rank up on a keyword to then lose the ranking after a week. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So how long does it take? Well, it just matters on what your sales volume is, right? So if your sales volume starts to drop when you're not advertising, then it won't take very long. The thing that's unfortunate about Amazon is that it's a very competitive market, and you're always going to be competing for placement and spots and ranking at all times. And so as you are competing for all of those things on Amazon, advertising comes into play quite a bit. I have seen very few people who have been able to keep like even a rank 10 position with just organic and no ads whatsoever. But definitely over time, you can reduce your advertising, especially for really high relevancy, high click-through rate keywords, because those are ones where, again, that relevancy factor does come into place. And Amazon loves to show relevant products because they get more money from you if your product actually sells when someone clicks on it. Sorry, can you come again with your advice of either we target same keywords for all type bread, sponsored campaigns? As of today, sales were generated mostly with broad all type broad keywords. I don't think I understand the question. I think you're kind of referring back to what I was talking about earlier in the sense of, actually, I have a graphic for this. When in doubt, pull the graphic out. That's I got bars today, guys. I got bars. That's crazy of me to say. All right, let's take a little. I don't know what's going on here today, guys. You can check out this graphic, Mohammed. This graphic, I think, will explain your question, that you're having issues understanding the difference between like exact phrase broad and what they do. So for instance, if your keyword is artisan soap, you will, with a broad, rank for both artisan soap, but you will also rank for artisan soap for holidays. You also rank for soap for artisan baskets. So I think that answers the question from earlier, as well as kind of explains it a little bit more. If you need this graphic, feel free to reach out to us at podcast@myamazonguy.com, and I'll have somebody send it over to you. Zane, with these design engineers, how can we find them? And also, do they help us with materials, colors, and shape? Do we have to provide everything? I know my product well, but I'm not a material expert. Yeah, so yes, a lot of times is the answer there. So you literally can just look up product design engineer firm. So I just looked this up real quick. How can I share the screen? Hold on, let me share my screen. All right. I just looked up product design engineering firms. Tons of them. So Delve, super popular one. Acorn, super popular. I mean, I don't know, like 10 right here in my city alone. It's a really popular thing. You can work with somebody in person. You can work over the internet, whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's all you need to do, Zane. Figure out who you want to work with. Pricing is going to be the number one thing you're looking at, as well as just like work history within your category. So if you have a specific category that you're looking at, that's also going to take a huge effect for you. All right, let's see here. I work mainly in the German marketplace. I can't add alt text in A+. It says those are generated automatically. Yeah, so EU alt text is a little different, unfortunately. Also, what you're probably looking at when it says it's generated automatically is not the alt text P. Wellstone. That's a crazy name. Anyways, What you're looking at the descriptor of the image, which is generated automatically. You can still add the alt text, which they do have the ability to automatically generate alt text now, but that's not the kind of alt text you're going to want. It's just going to be a descriptor of the image. So you can still technically add it, but you have to add it at the time of adding image. Facing cannibalization in Amazon. How do you see and tackle this? I guess, can you elaborate what kind of cannibalization, like your own cannibalization? Cannibalization from competitors isn't really cannibalization. It's, I guess just competitors eating you alive like a lion. I gotta stop with this today. I don't know what's going on right now, guys. I don't even see the 1% reviews on the last 100 sales. Yeah, Mohammed, that sounds like you might not be even asking for the review. You need to request a review from every single one. If you're not seeing even a 1% review rate, that's pretty bad in my opinion. Best way you can kind of encourage this, either one, product insert. I don't really recommend it in the slightest. Don't even ask for it on product insert. You can if you really want to, but it could get you dinged. I don't recommend, but you can always do request a review at the end of the day. But the number one thing, even if you have 0.5% review rate, less than that 1%, well, in that case, actually another thing, category is going to have a huge effect on this. If you're like a supplement of some kind, your reviews are going to be usually 90 days out from when somebody purchased, comparatively to the typical, which is somebody gets a product, I don't know, like a, little light up candle thing, right? Like little light up candle. Should like throw this on the brim of my hat. It did not work in the slightest. Either way. So yeah, I do the request a review, and that should help you immensely. I don't see the 1 of 2 here, Eric, but I'm going to try and work with what I got. 2 of 2 shows as currently unavailable, but if we change deliver to zip code to Oklahoma, California, etc., they show as available. Any thoughts why this is? Seller support hasn't been helpful and has escalated. So potential for this could be just the aspect of how you have your shipping set up. Could also be the fact of Amazon won't ship certain products cross country. And you probably don't have products in the warehouses that are in, those certain areas that you are trying to ship to. Unfortunately, there's not a ton you can do here. You can try and send in more inventory, which could potentially help. But a lot of times, like I said, Amazon won't ship some things cross country. They should. I would reach out directly and ask seller support to connect you in directly with the FBA team, comparatively just to like talking with regular seller support. I failed the Canada verification because my business address is still tied to the US while I have recently moved to Canada and now I have a Canadian ID. I've been trying to resolve this issue the past 3 weeks without success. If I close my current account, would I be able to open a new account, a new one using a Canadian business entity while keeping the same personal information? Technically, yes. So you can have multiple Seller Central accounts at the same time, as long as essentially you are doing it under different LLCs and different businesses. That's not an issue. Tons of clients that we have right now that have multiple Seller Central accounts, multiple brands, so on and so forth. Used to be a thing you couldn't do. You can do it nowadays, like I said, as long as you have multiple businesses. Now, the only thing that I will kind of say here is that if you're failing the Canadian verification for your business address is still tied to the US while moving, that's not you failing for that reason. It means that you haven't sent them the updated paperwork to show that you are now the person, right? So you have to update both your personal information and you have to update your business information at the same time anytime you're making a change like this. Let's see. Hello, I run my Amazon business from the UK. I want to move to another country and live there. For my business address and personal address, what is the safest place to set these? Thanks. Wherever your business entity is and wherever you live. There's not like a safest. It's like the safest is those things that you can have easily, readily available access to so that you don't essentially lose any of that. And so if Amazon ever sends you anything, or you need to verify your identity or your business location, you absolutely can. No, I heard that virtual address for business can make Amazon suspend your account. I also sell in the UK. I use my home address as my business address. In the future, what address shall I have that is the most safe without Amazon banning us? Especially for VAT addresses, lots of Chinese sellers using shared address to avoid VAT. So worried about using a shared space for address. So Amazon doesn't typically say no to virtual addresses. Like technically they do want a physical address of some kind. I would really encourage, if you can, just throw it as like your own address, if as like a worst case scenario. But you can technically use the virtual address. It's just like very specific to what virtual addresses you do. And the reason majority of people end up getting suspended for virtual addresses is because they end up forging some kind of address verification documentation rather than just getting the actual documentation itself. And Amazon will then suspend them for that forged documentation, not for the actual aspect that they have a virtual address. Hi, Noah. How do you balance budget allocation across multiple PPC campaigns and products? You put the majority of your budget towards whatever is selling. This is a really, I think, just too generalized question at the end of the day. Your budget allocation is going to depend on your overall cost for every single keyword. It's going to depend on cost for the product. How much is your product selling for, your profit margin? Like there's a lot of nuance that goes into this. It's a bit too general to just like say one thing or the other. If your category / NB keywords, new brand, NB. I'm blanking on NB for some reason. I'm sure it's something super simple. I'm assuming new brand, something, I don't know. Keywords search volume is down, could frequently bought together with your products be categories you can try and break into. What would you recommend when efficiency go down? Efficiency would go down, but it is definitely something to target just because you're going to show up. So you can essentially target a lot of those competitors or just products in general and essentially where you're actually going at. The better way to go about this is to not do it from a product basis and rather do it from a keyword basis, to be entirely frank. You're going to have a lot harder time just doing it from a product basis because people are going to buy one product and then they're going to move on to the search to their next product. And so I would do it on a keyword basis versus just doing on a general, product basis. The image only has the name as input field, but the alt text field is gone since a few months. Oh, so this is probably having to do with the actual alt text change as well. So if you have essentially any type of text within the actual image itself, you can't add alt text anymore. So that's the change that happened back in May. So that's likely what's happening there, Wellstone. I'm a UK seller seeing better CTR on PPC now, but not getting conversion. Should I focus on images or adding A+ content? You should focus on A+ content. You should also focus and make sure that you are addressing every single customer need on your actual image in general. The big thing that I typically see a lot of times when people have really high is also they have no like self-targeting campaigns and they have competitors that are way lower priced, or their main image just makes it look like let's say it's an accessory to a product and not the actual product, and they're targeting the actual product. People click on it and they're like, this is the accessory for that product I'm looking for, not the product. And so that's another reason you can have definitely high clicks, but not doing well. This person asked, what are you selling? Tickets to the carnival? Nothing at the moment, just answering questions. Let's see. By cannibalization, I mean that my old products, which were selling well, have been replaced by my brand's new products. As a result, the sales of the old ones have decreased, while the new designs are performing well. What should be done to ensure that both the old and new products continue to sell consistently? All right, so the biggest thing here is it sounds like potentially you're targeting everything all at the same time. I'd really encourage you to essentially do a parentage if you have like a new variation of the product. And then from there, I would make the old version of the product essentially lower price than the new version. The reason the new version is because it should be new and improved in some way. But this is a really, really common thing that happens when people launch new variations. I think it was, I want to say Viper was in this last week and he was asking about something similar. And yeah, you just have to essentially set up a way and a reason as to why someone would want the old variation of something when you have a new and improved model of it. And 9 times out of 10, the way to do that is just through pricing. Let's see. If I am selling an auto radio for Skoda and mentioning in my title gets a trademark issue, how should I tackle this? Don't sell trademarked products that you're not allowed to sell. That's how you tackle it. Unfortunately, that is the best answer I can give you. Don't sell trademarked products you're not allowed to sell. Simple as that. Yeah, true. Dude. I've seen so many people getting suspended in the Amazon forums. Is it really that common to just get suspended like these people say every day? Makes me worried as I don't have a Amazon health assurance, as I do not have enough sales volume to achieve the 250 health score. So a bit scary. Yeah, people get suspended every single day. People also frequently go against Amazon's terms of service and selling terms of service all the time. And then they go, what did I do? I didn't do anything. And they absolutely did. The amount of people that, I talk with hundreds, if not thousands of sellers every single month, right? Including every single Friday on this live. The amount of times that people have come to me and they said, I randomly got suspended on Amazon, which I'm not saying can't happen. Absolutely can't happen. I see faulty and false suspensions all the time as well. But I also see people who, there was a guy I was talking to about 2-3 weeks ago. And he was like, he got suspended for review manipulation because Amazon said that he bought his competitor's product and essentially left negative reviews on it, right? And that's it's like an anti-competitive thing that Amazon does, and they'll suspend you over that. And you really can't get out of that, unfortunately. And I asked him, I'm like, well, did you do that? And he was just like, yeah, I did. Their product sucks. I'm like, it's like, it's unfortunate, right? Amazon does the game of you're guilty until proven innocent, but there's a lot of instances in which you are guilty and there is no way to prove you innocent, unfortunately. And you just have to hope for the good graces. Now, the big thing, RealFi, just try and follow the terms of service and try and follow best-selling practices as much as possible. Don't do anything shady and you should be fine. Hi, Noah. Got hit with a critical IP violation. Complaint seems unusual as a Gmail was used, not brand domain. I have invoices, but appeal only wants letter of authorization. No option for invoices. Support was no good. Okay. So that's what you were asking earlier. So couple of things here. Just because it's a Gmail does not mean that it's not necessarily legit. Amazon would not allow an IP violation unless it was, in fact, the person who has the brand registry submitting the IP violation. Now, the question I would ask is, did the IP violation actually come through Amazon? It sounds like it did. And they want a letter of authorization. Yeah, because the person who submitted it is actually the brand owner of whatever brand you are listed on. So it's unfortunate, Falcon. That really is going to be your number one way forward, is working to try and get that letter of authorization from the brand themselves. Or a lot of times the way to actually go about this that is not Amazon related, because you can't get rid of the IP violation, even if you show the letter of authorization, reach out to the Gmail that was used and ask them directly to remove the IP violation from your account, and you'll stop selling whatever you have to do. Do whatever it takes and whatever they want to just get the IP violation off your account, because that hurts you a lot more right now and in the long run than anything else. I expected a high sales volume in October. Is it because of Halloween or the season? My products are corsets. I don't know. So, I mean, that's an apparel product. I mean, I would assume early October, maybe, right? Like early October, maybe September, because corsets could be used for like Halloween costumes. But to be honest, unless you didn't see that, sales jump early October, you probably missed out on it. But a lot of times, yeah, late October, like right now, you're not going to see a huge bump in sales in general, unfortunately. Which is more cursed? It's to the point that I know what it's saying. I know it's saying Noah and Steven, but I don't think it is saying that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that at this point. If search volume is down for your category, what would you recommend? You are in a small niche with limited keywords currently, and you want to branch out. I would find a new category to sell in. I think that's the answer you're looking for. There is no other answer, right? If you're in a category where you're limited by search volume and it's a very small niche with limited keywords, find a new product and a new category to sell in. That's the only thing you can do, right? Like there's not a magic bullet answer here. It's just find something else to sell. That's the biggest thing. That's the easiest way to grow search volume. Or sales, I mean. With the alt text change, what will index if you add an image and A+ content that doesn't contain text? The only thing they'll text in that index in that case would be anything that is crawlable text. So anything that you can highlight is considered crawlable text, and so that's what would actually show up there for indexability. Anything where you still have that in alt text as well, that would also count on that front. So anything in those capacities, essentially. My product category is tortilla bread, and I don't get reviews even in 0.0001% of sales, previous sales. That one is rough. I mean, so one of the hard things I think there in general is just that consumable products like food products don't get tons of reviews. I would really, really encourage you, Mohammed, every single time to click that request a review button, because that's going to be a real tough one to get reviews on, to be entirely frank. I have a new improved version of our product, which will get a new ASIN. I have campaigns that work well for the old product. We use same campaign with new product target or duplicate / create new. I'd probably duplicate them just because, you want to essentially get some new history on those campaigns. You don't want to mess anything up that's currently working for your old variation. And you also want to essentially separate them so you know how the old is performing comparatively to the new a little bit easier. So you can also allocate budget a little bit easier in that way. And you may end up having some differing bids as well. So that's what I would probably do is duplicate. Let's see here. I got unusual sales in October. I already answered this. Oh no, I feel so bad that the community turned Noah and Steven into a meme. Yeah. I mean, you say that, and yet I'm sitting here. You say that you guys turn us into a meme, and yeah, I'm sitting here like this. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. I kind of do it to myself, I guess. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's see. Do we have any others? Hey, no, you skipped my question. Tony, I don't see your question. Can you throw it in the chat again? Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything from Tony unless people on the back end see it. We're kind of out of questions, guys, and we're kind of basically at time here. So I might be calling it. Oh, hold on. Should I bid Amazon suggested in high competitive categories? Amazon suggested a lot of times is just kind of what Amazon is going to suggest to you. So Amazon makes the most amount of money. Do your own keyword research at the end of the day. I really wouldn't encourage you to just go with whatever Amazon says, because Amazon is not doing anything in your best interest as a seller. They are trying to make as much money, especially on ads, as possible. And so, yeah, I would definitely do that and whatnot. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, it seems like we're kind of questions. We're at time. So with that said, we are My Amazon Guy. Let me throw this up here. Hold on. Boom. There we go. So we're My Amazon Guy. We're a full service agency that gets your products seen and sold. We work with over 400 different brands right now. We have worked with over 2,500 over the years at this point in time. And so if you guys are interested in checking us out, or, you just want to learn some new things, we also have just a ton of news and a ton of resources, just free resources as well. You can actually come over here, look at free Amazon tools, and we have a ton of stuff there for everyone to check out. So all that being said, or if you just want a free audit, you can do that. So all that being said, my name is Noah Wickham. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing here at My Amazon Guy, and I hope everyone has a very happy Halloween. And remember, Amazon is the circus, and I am here to be your ringmaster. Thanks, everybody.